Okay, this video is end of days discussion, real apolitical news, and electric scooter roadshow all at once. That's why it's going to go up saying intermission report. Okay, that's we got that out of the way. It's kind of a nice day. I got my bag of cans all bagged up to go to the scrapyard to get a few extra dollars in my pocket and everything. And so there's to count things as all joy as much as I can under total circumstances here and like that. And so, this, for those of you who like people's personal drama as entertainment, what they call a reality show, you're going to get some of this in this video. You're going to get some stuff that I've been talking about in end of days discussion and real apolitical news combined with this, and the stuff that I've been talking about with the electric scooter roadshow. It's all a big combination video, and this is a do or die long stretch thing that's going to be uploaded, and it's going to be a process. I'm without electricity, so I don't have home Wi-Fi, so I got to get to a public Wi-Fi just to load this video up on the internet once it's done. So it's going to prove to be a busy and chaotic sort of day for me, because the devil is always sending somebody to interfere with the process and doing things and putting certain circumstances to interfere with the process. And I'm going to tell you straight up, you look at some of the messages and some of the things that I've been saying and I've been telling people on these various videos, and you have any will to seek God in different ways, then you'll see that, there's something here that Satan would never tell me to tell you, to reject the salvations for these different things going on to the world that worldly people and governments and shadow governments and stuff offer you as salvation, with all the chaos and things that are going to be coming up. You think things are bad now. I'm not saying it's happening right away, but it could happen right away. But things are going to get so bad that most of you won't be able to handle any of it. You'll be confused. You won't have, many of you won't have watched some of the suggestions and notations that I put in the various videos, and you'll be totally confused as to what's even going on in the first place. So, this is a big ditch effort to snap your attention in the right direction here. Okay, yeah, it's going to get bad. I've seen it in my dreams. I've seen different things that people have sent me that are reliable people that are not going to send me bullshit crap. And I did say that I would try to curb my language a little better, but there's going to be words that slip out because it's just one of those situations. I said bullshit and then crap. At least the word shit's going to come out here and there. So be prepared. All right. So, the whole project for Electric Scooter Roadshow is going to become that much more challenging. Some of you did see my Facebook post that was my step up in spiritual things, um, oath to God as to what I'm going to be doing from that point into the future, which is not serving governments and not serving corporations and people. I'll be serving God through serving people. The Bible did say that which you do uh, for the least of my brethren, you have also done for me. So, in the terms of serving people, that means feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, visiting the prisoner, healing people if I have an opportunity to help somebody that's sick, those sort of things. That's where I'm serving God, giving you the information you need to help you struggle less in the future with these things that are coming up. But I don't want anybody to struggle any more than they really need to with the hardships coming up. And that's love. That's God's love from me to you, through me to you. That's God's love. What happened on that oath to God post on Facebook is I got banned. My nephew, this is where the family drama entertainment reality show comes in, decided to turn that oath to God into some right-wing versus left-wing political talking points, and a very low dig, because I've been trying to tell my whole family that part of this was could possibly help me making my own money and getting off disability and not receiving a Social Security check. I had pleaded with my family to share some of these videos around, because getting the extra views on the different video platforms is something that can get me sponsorship, and if it's enough sponsorship, then I won't need a disability check anymore. I also pleaded because there's a big part of it, huge, way more huge part of it, that's not about me. I've told people time and time again in these videos that this is humanitarian. It's educational and informational to help people, to tell them what they can do for themselves, because they don't want, you just don't. You don't want help from the government or any other corporation, rich people entity that they offer when it comes to all this chaos that's been happening and happening now, and the worst chaos that's going to be happening in the future. There's a catch-22 that if you are considering God and Jesus in any way at all, you don't want it. You just don't want it. It's going to sound great because it's free and it's this and that. No, it's not free. The government is $25 trillion in debt from all this stuff that's supposedly free. And those people that the government is in debt to with our national debt are going to collect. And you're not going to like the way that they collect. You're just not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. Nobody is going to like the way they decide to collect. They don't want you to have a constitution and constitutional rights anymore. They want to go and non-national sovereignty and fully global. They want to have cashless society, so they have control over everything you spend, everything you do, and you're being set up. Both sides, left and right, are being set up. When they had Antifa and Black Lives Matter flipping over cop cars and setting things on fire and smashing things and looting things and stuff like that, you were being set up to look very bad to the right wing people as unruly and violent and so on and so forth, using, yes, real cop shootings and killings and different things that you were angry about to get you to that point. They used that. They used that to get you to that point. You were being set up to look like I'm going to go racist with this. You've been set up to look like a bunch of gorillas, violent gorillas, in that aspect. Um, as far as how you look towards the right wing that's seeing a different side of things. Right wing, you are being set up. You have been set up. That January 6th Trump thing, where it turned into them invading the public office building like they did, and so on and so forth and stuff. You were being riled up, and you have been set up to look like you're, revolting against their glorious Democrat progressive socialist movement government. You were being set up to look the exact same way to the left. You have been set up. And as far as, having some kind of coup because they're trying to remove our Constitution or constitutional rights in different ways and things like that. When you revolt, you're going to find out that they have lots of technology that they never told you that they have. It's what you have in Second Amendment guns and things to do your little revolt and so on and so forth is nothing compared to what they have to come back against you. Nothing. They, the CIA and the military industrial complex, they have run experiment after experiment for decades on new and different stuff for controlling crowds and controlling the public and controlling situations, and they've been expecting it all. They've been training in National Guard and reserves. They've been expecting all of this because they've been setting all of us up deliberately. You are being set up. You have been being set up. Okay, there's that part. So yes, I blew up. That was a trigger thing. I'd been telling my family I wanted to get off from disability. And my nephew comes on to my oath towards God and turns it into political sort of stuff and makes a big dig at the fact that I'm still on disability. He even said something about a free phone. I bought this phone and I bought my minutes. They, have been denying me requesting to get my minutes paid for on this phone. I send all the stuff in and they have a problem with it. It's too blurry. It's this and that. It's not good enough. That's not the information we wanted, blah, 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 and stuff. And I had tried to, but I am paying for the minutes and internet on this phone myself. So he had digs about free phones, and, he probably thought I was on food stamps too, and no, I don't get food stamps. I get an SSD check that's less than $1,000 a month, and it's almost impossible to live off from unless you get some kind of subsidized housing sort of thing. It's very, very difficult to live off from Social Security disability. Very. And yet, my pocket is supporting the Electric Scooter Roadshow, which is a humanitarian project about everybody else and helping everybody else through all this. My pocket. And yet, people that actually, not to brainwash people that think that, the government's going to save us and everything will be okay and this and that and the other thing. But even the people that see different things that have been going on, that's a large part of my Facebook friends list. Whether it be chemtrails or the vaccination thing or the attack on a Second Amendment thing or whatever you're seeing that's going on, you're not sharing these videos around in the GoFundMe around and stuff to help me either. The family has been pretty much ignoring it, and the reason that I blew up is not only have they not taken any of it in any kind of seriousness, then I have the nephew that pulls that cheap, dirty down, low dig about me still being on Social Security disability. I haven't gotten off from it yet. A cheap, low dig, about me serving um, people, because there's God and Jesus and people, even the people that aren't considering God, there's a little bit of them in there. That's what that verse in the book of Matthew is about. Whatever you have done for the least of my brethren, you have also done to me. That's what it's about. The least of means the least important. That person that you don't consider important because they're a drunk or a drug addict or a schizophrenic on the streets or whomever, or a person that got themselves put into prison because they broke the law and blah, 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 that's the least of. So those of you that think that, well, I shouldn't be helping those people, I should just be helping other people that haven't done anything wrong, or there's nothing wrong with them or something like that, you're wrong. That's what that part of the book of Matthew means. The least of, the least important, the ones that you would never consider normally. That's what that is. Nothing that I've been putting on these videos is something that Satan would tell me to tell the world. Satan doesn't want people to reject the world and consider God instead of whatever government or whatever salvation is offered out there aside from God, and to expect these kind of things. That's not the way it works. You're interpreting things very wrong if that's what you're thinking. So, here it is. Yes, there was the family drama thing, and I blew up, and yes, it was bad. I said some bad things when I blew up, but he kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and not understanding that that was an oath towards God and not a political statement, and it just got out of hand at that point, and whatever. And I'm banned for 30 days on Facebook because they didn't see that as him harassing me first and then me blowing up later. They saw that as, all me being the bad guy. And so all of this will be pushed around through Facebook Messenger, because when you're banned from Facebook specifically, you're not necessarily banned from Facebook Messenger, to get this video and any other ones out to people. And it's all for you, really. Those of you who aren't sharing the videos and the GoFundMe around because this is crazy John and what he says is way too radical and stuff, and it'll make me look just as crazy as him if I share it around. You already look crazy. If you're vaccine choice or anti-vaccine, either one, they're making you look like you're crazy and that you're killing everybody because you're refusing vaccination and mask and stuff. They're making you, those of you who are stepping up on the right-wing side against what's going on, they're making you look violent and crazy. Those of you on the left side, the Democratic Socialist progressive end of it, they've got you triggered and they've had you doing violent things and saying crazy things. You look crazy too. You all look crazy. You already look crazy now, so how much more crazier can you look for actually hitting a share button or a copy and paste? How much more? You can't look any more crazy than you already do. Cuckoo, blah, 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 cuckoo. They're coming to take you away, ha ha, they're coming to take you away, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy when them nice young men in their clean white coats come to take me away, ha ha. You already look crazy. You look batshit crazy. Already. So what's difference does it make hitting a share, copy, paste, forward thing and getting some of this off from the ground? It's helping way more people than just me. It's a fat chance it'll really get me off from disability, because, they have certain parameters before they start doing corporate sponsorships for YouTube and Rumble videos and stuff like that have to be met, and it's going to be very difficult for me to meet all those things. So really, just consider all of that, get me off from disability stuff aside, and look at all the corners of porches that I'm going to fix for people for absolutely nothing. With my, because I'll be on the road living in a tent, I don't have a rent bill, I don't have an electric bill in that situation, so therefore it won't be very much for out of my Social Security disability pocket to buy $80 of material for some senior old lady that has not had the money or the resources or the people around to get her porch fixed or her light switch fixed or door fixed, and that's part of it, promoting communities to support each other, not be divided by what the news tries to divide you about, and stuff like that. This is helping way more people than me if it gets going, but you won't share the thing around because you think you look crazy, or you think whatever you're thinking, it's not important. This is just John Morgan on a rant, and it's not important. This isn't Mr. Famous Del Bigtree, or this isn't Mr. Famous this person and that person speaking. This is a guy living in a rundown trailer park. Well, I'll tell you what, these people are in these places like this that have already seen and know what it's like to be in desperate situations and be desperate and stuff like that. They've been helping me way more than anybody in regular middle class and upper middle class. So they're better than you. They're broke like me, but they're better than you because they've been helping me way more than anybody that is in a better position that has a little something in their pocket to support the show. They bring food. They make sure they save cans aside because they know I save cans and cash in cans. They ask me if I need different things. They step up and they help and they appreciate and they overhear these conversations in the yard. The guy I have staying in my back room, he overhears these conversations that I put up on video because he's doing whatever he's doing while I do some of these videos in my house. People in the public park and at the cafe that I go to frequently and other places where I do videos, they all overhear me talking about this kind of stuff, and a lot of them, that have been in desperate situations before help out. And I'm telling you right now, middle class, upper middle class, and stuff like that, the people way up don't consider you really any better than those of us that are on food stamps and struggling where we're at. They don't consider you any better. And when this chaos gets worse and things fall further into this downward spiral cycle, that have never been desperate enough to dive into dumpsters and do all these different things that you disparage and look down on the very broke, that they happen to do, taking in scrap and picking up garbage along the road to take in scrap and stuff like that, are going to be just as desperate as us, and you won't know how to handle it. You won't know what to do. You won't be prepared for it because you never spent any money on the things that I said that you should spend money on to prepare yourself for it. You won't have, you'll be lost and confused, and you won't have anything or any means to. Many of you will go cuckoo. Many of you will end up in a psychiatric evaluation over there from the things that you have coming. You have these things coming. You have 50,000 or whatever, higher or whatever, in the means to prepare yourself for these things, but you're not even considering and forthcoming in pushing these videos that will educate all of you on different things that you can do so that you don't have to go to the government will save me, and the shadow government, and this and that, and all this, and all these philanthropists, they're doing all these great things, and they're going to save you. No, they're not going to save humanity. They're going to send them straight to effing hell. They're not nice people. They are not nice. Pedophiles that make $20,000, $25,000 a year, they can't afford $100,000 to $500,000 per child on those internet auctions where they buy and sell little boys and girls all day long for sex, for black market organ transplants. The Luciferians will buy your children to do a human sacrifice. They will stab your little child in the heart if they have a chance to snatch up your child and sell it to Luciferians so that they can stab them in the heart for a human sacrifice. Those people have 100 to 500,000, and guess who has 100 to 500,000 to buy and sell and trade kids? The rich. The filthy rich. The ones that are calling themselves philanthropists, the ones that get a big paycheck for being a politician or a corporate executive or something like that, that have millions of dollars to throw around. Those are the ones that are buying and selling your kids. You want to think that these rich-ass fucking people and these politicians that are funded by these rich-ass people are the ones that are going to save the world? They aren't saving your children. They're not saving your children. They're killing your children. They're screwing your children. They're sticking their penis in your children. Now, this ditch effort to tell you to start to share this around and get my project supported, it's for everybody. It's the big fat chance that it might get me enough sponsorship to get off disability, and if it does get me off disability and making more money than disability would ever pay me, there's still going to be money coming out of my pocket to go back into the program to help everybody else but me. And with my neurological disease and my arthritis in my spine and my bum leg that doesn't seem like it's ever going to heal properly and be back and forth, so I'm walking around all gimp and stuff while camping and sleeping on a mattress pad thing on the ground and having to get up from the ground every morning to make my coffee and stuff and ride on a scooter instead of a nice comfortable Cadillac across the United States to do this whole thing in community after community after community after community. That is one of the most selfless things that you'll ever see, because it's very painful to get up out of a bed that's only a couple inches off from the ground for me. It's very painful. I'll be, hoping that I have enough to keep me warm, because I'm starting this into the dead of winter. I'm showing you self-sacrifice and selflessness. And yet you won't even, you're so lazy that you won't even put your finger on a phone where it says copy or it says forward or it says share and where it says paste. And that's the ultimate laziness and not caring. Well, maybe nobody will, that you share it with, fund the GoFundMe. Maybe nobody else will share it around. Maybe nobody else will watch the videos. Maybe not. Maybe it'll do no good. But if you don't try, you won't know, and it's not harming you in any way to do so. You already look crazy. Most of the people that I've talked to, you already look crazy with your anti-vaccine stance and your vaccine choice stance and your anti-mask stance and your revolt against because they're taking our constitutional rights, and you're flipping over cop cars because somebody killed somebody, and they happen to be a cop and stuff like, you already look fucking psycho. There, I just said it with using the F word. You already look psycho. Get off your butt and support this program. I am sick of you and your apathy and you're not caring and you're scared to death of sharing these videos and scared to death of asking somebody to maybe put something on the GoFundMe and scared of this and scared of that and your chicken shit ass stuff. I am sick of you. If you don't want to do it, if that scooter explodes and I don't have the money to replace it, I will hook a wire around my shoulders and I will tote all my camping equipment on my arthritic back, and I will walk out of this town and I will still go from town to town and help people that are struggling and help people prepare and help people in communities and promote community unity and neighborly goodwill and love for your brother and sister. I will still do it without you, just me and my dog and God. You'll still see me doing it, and you should be ashamed.